Which is why it blows my mind when I see like people. It's like my son spent $2,000 on my credit card on foot. And I'm like, how? How does that even happen? Like, how do you actually allow that as an adult to happen?
Mate, the ones that are worse for me is the ones that their parents are cool with them being on OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's
weird. You will never. I don't care the cancellation or you got to be sex all this stuff. Don't care. I'll never be on board with a parent being like, "That's my daughter. Look at her on OnlyFans." No, that's so weird. It's so strange. I don't know why. I don't know how in a parent's mind you could be like, "No, I'm supportive." Like that, you're an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokai with 2 eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. We've whacked on the headphones today. We're reacting to a couple of videos. We're going to make this a segment. We're going to save some of our best videos for the week.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen for this.
And it's more, the videos are going to be more saved, especially because not everyone's on YouTube. It's going to be more videos where there's a reaction and what we would do.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, beautiful.
Okay,
beautiful.
we could go on funny videos all the time.
Yeah, easy.
I could go non-stop.
Oh, easy. Rack up just cheap, easy videos. Like, really?
Especially on YouTube. But I found a couple on TikTok where I was like, oh, it'd be a good conversation. Before we go into that, though, I'm thinking this is how you pronounce his name, and I'm not good with this at all, but TUIVASSA from the UFC.
I feel like that was really well done.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
Just Bam Bam. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. He got, I think maybe his son's 9 years old. What would you get a 9-year-old for his birthday?
I'm thinking like maybe some sort of superhero toy, like Hot Wheels car set, like something along that line, personally. Or maybe in 2022, maybe like I'm thinking probably a 9-year-old probably plays Fortnite, so maybe like the season pass, like something like that.
Mate, that is exactly what I thought. Bam Bam bought his son a Rollie.
A Rollie?
A Rolex, a watch.
Oh, I don't know what I was thinking like the shoes with the wheels, and I thought that's an interesting.
That would actually be a better present. I guarantee.
A Rolex for a 9-year-old.
I guarantee a 9-year-old would actually enjoy those old school shoes with the roller skates on them underneath.
Dude, an actual Rolex.
An actual Rolex, mate. I thought honestly it was the dumbest present.
Like it's a good investment,
exactly.
Like in that sense, but like a 9-year-old's not going to be flexing a Rolex.
Not the video, mate. I might get it online on YouTube. The video's got him holding it up on his wrist.
It'd be massive, would it not?
A little bit,
sort of like falls off. Like.
It's a little bit massive, and the kid's just like smiling, like, "Oh yeah, that's sweet." But I guarantee that kid would have absolutely loved just playing something like Fortnite.
Yeah, getting the new Spider-Man skin.
And don't get me wrong, like it's to be able to put your son in that position with a good investment like that. That's sweet. That is lovely.
It is. No, it is. But
if we're talking a general present for a 9-year-old, do we really think a 9-year-old wants a Rolex?
If anything, and not to nitpick or anything like that, but say the Rolex is worth like anywhere from like, I don't know, 20,000 to 50,000. Would it not have just been better to open in like a savings account and just put it in there when he's an adult?
That's what I thought too.
Like in all seriousness.
Because at that age, you don't really understand the concept of how important that is for your future.
No way. Watch him scratch it up too. Like you just know what's going to happen.
And he's probably disappointed it's not like an electric watch where he can set like a timer or
it doesn't glow in the dark. Because I used to love that as a kid, being like, "Oh hey, man, look at my watch. If I press this button, and you like legitimately make your room dark and you hit it and you be like, oh my god, it glows red." Like,
yeah, man, it's that's the same, bro. I saw and look, I have no idea that maybe somehow this kid's years above where he was meant to be, and he's been asking for a Rolex for so long.
Yeah,
but to me, for a 9-year-old, that just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
I think if he had a Rolex on his left wrist and a watch on his right that beeped when he made fart sounds and glowed in the dark, he would have more fun with the watch on the right.
Or the Ben 10 watch. The Omnitrix. Mate, he fucking loves that.
100%. And there was TikTok coming out all over Chrissy as well. I find, before we get in the videos, I find this weird. Due to the fact, like, why would you upload this? I saw about 4 or 5 videos where parents were getting their kids presents, and I saw one where the parents got this little girl, maybe she was like 9, and the boy would have been like 6, and they got him a group present. Right? Ooh. Group presents are never good for kids, by the way. Never get like a dual present.
Unless they're like younger, maybe it's like that outdoor play set that has like the swing and the seat. Like at that age.
Like a trampoline.
Again, yeah. Like it's a safer bet when your children are maybe like 4 to like 9.
Yep. I'll agree with that.
for that. But otherwise, never do group presents.
Well, these parents got their kids a Switch, right? And sharing a game console isn't really the best idea. But
usually the male, I would feel as well, like lean towards like more ownership.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
this little girl opens it. Obviously, it's Switch. Like so many kids, like don't get much at all for their Christmas. So this is massive. And she's just like, oh no, I don't want to share it. I'm just going to buy it with my own money. And the kids are like, well, no, sweetie, you do not have enough. She's like, no, I've been saving my piggy bank. They're like, it is nowhere near enough. And she's like, huh? She got all upset. And I was like,
wow, ungrateful as fuck.
Okay, and this goes back to it, bro. If I acted like that to my parents when I was a kid, it'd either be a smack or a fine, you don't get anything.
Yeah, correct.
Now it's so delicate, it's like, oh, I'll go back to the store and get you a Switch each.
Yeah, but that's crap. My parents would have, that's how my parents were.
Yeah. I think that's the right way to act.
Oh, 110% is. You're working your ass off.
Yeah.
And like realistically, like, yeah, all right, Christmas for a lot of people is like the gift-giving side of things and all. You could so easily turn around and just be like, yeah, we're not doing gifts this year.
Well, kids need to understand, especially at that age, they need to get the part where it's like, this is a big present.
Yeah, it's massive.
This is actually important. And you're treating it like it's nothing, and you need to understand now instead of later.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, not all parents have like well-paying. Like, that could be like a couple. Like, I'm not saying like a Switch is crazy expensive, you know that, but you don't know the person's situation. Like, that could be like a couple months. They could have driven around to so many different stores as well to get that specific bundle. Like,
there was
a lot of time and effort, man.
Man, there was a woman that had 2 kids, and I thought it was kind of funny until the end. There was presents galore. Like, they must have had like a stocking, emptied it out. There's presents all over the ground. These 2 little kids opening present after present. They're like, oh, trucks, and throwing it out. Next one, oh, race car. I wanted a PlayStation. Oh, this, that. And they're just opening present after present as fast as they can and throwing it on the ground. And then it cut to this parent, this woman, crying her eyes out, just being like, so ungrateful. Like, why would you do that? Like, I just can't. I work so hard. 2 things. Part of me is like, do you know your kids? Because most kids have a fucking Christmas list.
True.
And if they've gone like, I don't want a race car, I don't want this. Did you really look at
no, that's a fair call because, yeah, usually as a kid, Mum would always be like, write a Santa's list and all that. Exactly. So at least I have like a rough idea of what to go by.
And on the parent side, kind of having more of a go at the parent this because the kid's so young and naive. They don't know. Like, they think a fat man in a red suit jumped down the chimney after eating some of your cookies you left out and then left your present. So they're still. Yeah.
I think it's even more awkward if you don't have the chimney because you're like, well, hang on a sec. How does Santa even get in?
Well, the fact that I was more like, you edited this video together and put it on TikTok.
Well, that's even worse.
Like, what does that say about you as a parent?
Yeah, that's even worse.
Like, what are you
cringe.
What are you looking for?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
And the reactions are like ripping into the kids. It's like, I wouldn't want people to know my kids act like that. Not only that, I wouldn't want people ripping into my kids.
Yeah. Let alone just uploading your child on social media again in this sort of day and age.
I don't like it. I really don't like it. I wouldn't upload. There's some videos I would as maybe like a family day kind of event, but
that's a bit
specifically
different.
on my child.
Like your child.
Too many people. Too many people upload. Yeah.
And then it gets even worse. Like, I don't even want to touch on the bloody YouTube channels that like pretty much
sexualize
kids. Yeah. That's fucking disgusting.
It is disgusting. There's so many people that are out there that are just like creeps. Like, you'll go to a TikTok video where there might be a cute little girl like running around, and then there's the video's been saved tens of thousands of times. You're like, why would that be saved? I save people falling off I don't know, falling off bikes and like
just random height things like
food recipes that I might use for later.
Yep. Or even like the Woolies TikTok.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I need to find that product.
Exactly. So that's the reason I save videos, because I want to go back and be like, where's that event or funny video?
Yes.
Who's going back and be like, oh, where's that little cutie?
Yeah, no shit. That,
yuck. Oh, I don't like it. Yuck. Don't like it. All right. So, as we've spoken about, I'm just turning a bit more on the parents actually for even uploading it. Not why if you're going to upload anything, upload the conversation of you with your child, teaching them the right way.
Yeah, like just discipline, I guess. Like the right way to go about like.
I guarantee. Geez, you just unlock the idea of just there's no way they would upload discipline because they'd be worried they'd somehow get cancelled.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. How many people worry about getting cancelled when they don't even have a following?
Oh, heaps. That's so true.
We're just now in a society where it's just like, I can't say that. I can't do this. I can't think it.
You're second guessing like every little action. Mate, it's the same as going in a nightclub. Granted, I know those who are listening on Spotify can't see this, so I'll just try to describe the situation. But if you're in a nightclub as a guy, and especially I feel more in 2022, like, because anytime you like accidentally maybe like brush past a female or whatever, like you don't want to get done for like, I suppose, like sexual assault, whatever, because you know it could go 0 to 100.
It's not ridiculous to think about these days,
mate. Half the time I seriously walk up, and I know for the Spotify listeners you can't see this, but like my hands are up in the air and I'm legit like almost like I'm not touching, I'm just like walking, and I'm almost like turning my back into them, so like the front of me isn't like rubbing like at all. Because I'm like, it's just not worth the hassle.
Just playing it safe. Yeah, it's interesting. Now, I've got a couple of videos here that I would love to play, and I think they'll create a bit of a conversation. So going on to spoiled kids, right, and kids that weren't raised properly with discipline. I think that's the most important part. Kids aren't going to break under discipline. They're more going to break if you don't show up to important events in their life.
Yeah, correct. You hold on to that. Well, I held on to that.
They make sure... You're not their friend. You're actually a parent.
Yeah. Like, it's okay to, like, get along with each other, but you got to draw that fine line where, like, at the end of the day, you are the adult. Which is why it blows my mind when I see, like, people, it's like, my son spent $2,000 on my credit card on foot. And I'm like, how? How does that even happen? Like, how do you actually allow that as an adult to happen?
Mate, the ones that are worse for me is the ones that their parents are cool with them being on OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's fucked.
That's weird. You will never. I don't care the cancellation or you got to be all this stuff. Don't care. I'll never be on board with a parent being like, "That's my daughter. Look at her on OnlyFans." No, that's so weird. That's so strange. I don't know why. I don't know how in a parent's mind you could be like, "No, I'm supportive." Like that, you're an idiot.
Well, I wonder what a parent's conversation would be for, like, say, obviously. They're seeing online, like maybe on an Instagram or a Facebook. It's like, oh, wow, look at you, blah, 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 doing so well. Like, I just saw they got a new car. Like, what job are they doing now? Like, and you don't really want to answer the question properly because then that's just an awkward situation down the line as well, like if they were to cross paths in the street. Yeah.
I think if I had a child and they grew up, obviously became an adult, and that's the path they went down, I think the conversation would be like, I as a parent really don't want you to do this. I'll support you. I'll make sure, if this is money wise, I will make sure I help you. I'll help you find a job, anything. OnlyFans seems like the easier out lately for people. And not only that, it's kind of a situation in where you see all the glitz and the glamour and girls like getting sent out to LA and they're on boats and they're partying and they're making like minimum like 5 to 10 grand a month and they're doing fuck all. But you don't see the girls who have tried it out for a while and then they haven't succeeded.
Well,
and now their nudes are all on the internet. You don't see that part, right?
Yeah.
Because those girls don't have enough followers to talk about how damaging it was.
That's the thing as well. And we're living in a day and age as well where screen recording is such an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, all you need is one person to maybe buy like the OnlyFans and then...
Oh, mate.
And then you just share it to wherever.
We know of someone that in our lives that did OnlyFans... And to anyone out there, if you're thinking, if you wanted to start an OnlyFans and you're like, don't worry, they've got all these rules and regulations where, like, if I upload to OnlyFans, only someone who subscribes can see my content. And, like, if anyone else leaks it, I can sue them. No, that's not even close to true. I'm telling you now, if you have an OnlyFans, one dude will go and subscribe and he will screen record, screenshot all your stuff, go to Reddit, and on Reddit, post everything. So now your OnlyFans link, if you have no idea, don't ask me how I have this experience. You type that OnlyFans person's name and Reddit, everything's there.
Yeah.
Everything. So it's not, there's no safety.
Yeah, there's no sneaking.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing.
But again, if I was a parent and that happened to me, I would just be like, look, I don't think maybe they're making a bit of money. It's like, okay, cool. How can I support you to make sure you don't do this? Because you're not thinking of the part where there's some men out there that will just stalk you. There's some men out there that some reason if they're paying for your OnlyFans, some of them also get
Demand
obsessed.
more. Yeah.
Get
And
obsessed
yeah.
and think that like you're in a relationship with them. They have this weird hold. It won't stop. That you hear it all the time. People go to your house. They find your location, which is a lot easier to do now.
No, you're so spot on.
And my whole point would be safety and your future, because you're not gonna do this when you're 40.
Yeah, correct.
So
Correct.
I don't know. People are
And I
like,
think as well, like, not taking a diss at anyone in that space or anything like that, but say you're single as well, like, depending on like what type of guy you're into, the male, or it could even be the female if you're a guy working in that industry, like they might not like that your photos and all that's there.
yeah, because I would get annoyed if people got, if people get offended at everything.
It's a bit
If
different.
people got offended about, like, say, how I feel about people doing OnlyFans, what are you talking about? Everyone can have their own opinion. I personally feel that if I was to meet someone in a dating scene, I found out they did OnlyFans, I wouldn't date them, right? People can have all these preferences.
Yeah.
Girls can say they want a guy that's tall,
yeah,
dark,
tall,
blue
dark,
eyes,
handsome.
right? They can have, I don't want someone who shows their naked body for money,
Yeah.
right? I don't feel like that's a bad thing to
Yeah,
say.
and you shouldn't be judged for it either.
And it's the same on the girl's end. If the guy does OnlyFans, the girl might be like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that they don't think about. They're like, look, I'm making money. I'm going to be able to buy a house, this and that. It's like,
It's the
I'm more-
ramifications, like the
Yeah.
lasting.
I'm more concerned about maybe a 5-year plan. What happens when this runs out? Safety
Yeah.
above everything.
Most definitely.
Safety would be the biggest one.
Most definitely.
Actually, I think those are the main two, to be honest. The main two. But again, bro, there's some people, they just love it.
Yeah. At the same time, if you're
they
out
just love
there
it.
and stuff, then good on you. Like, you're making a bag.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it from that aspect. It's like I'm not for it nor against it. Like, to each their own.
Yeah.
Is my thoughts on that space. But yeah, like if I had like a family like even
Well, you're
even
crazy.
if you had a family friend
Yeah.
though, like I feel like you wouldn't want to know that they do it.
Well, you're crazy to think that the people around you wouldn't be worried about your safety.
Yeah.
Okay? And I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like if you have people around you that are worried
Well, I
at
feel
the
like
fact
you'd be
you're
surrounded by
doing
a
it,
good circle of people
you've
if they're
got-
worried about your safety.
literally, right? If you've got people that are just like, go get that bag. No, it's fine. No, you don't have a good circle around you. Now, we've got some videos to go through before we go.
That we do.
This, you know how we were talking about discipline before, how important discipline can be with children.
Yes.
This video I've seen on TikTok, and I feel like this is what happens when you don't have discipline at a young age. So we'll play this now.
Don't even have chat for me, just move away. Dickhead, shut up.
Oh, real quick. This girl's on a train,
Okay.
packed train.
I was gonna say thank you, Kiki. I'm gonna need some context.
She's on a packed train and she's arguing with someone who is next to her because she wouldn't give up her seat.
Shut up, you're not gonna do that. No, you're not gonna do shit. 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 Exactly, can't you just move? So shut the fuck up. So shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I'm not a big girl. Oh, please, who do you think?
big girl, but you're not a big
I
girl.
said, and how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? 27. 27, and you call yourself a fucking grown woman? Are you stupid? What? You silly fucking bitch. You silly bitch.
When do you become a grown woman
Silly
then?
bitch. When? Bro, don't. You don't need to know any of that.
You must be a grown woman,
You
mustn't
don't
you?
need to know all of that. You don't need to know any of
Okay.
That I hated all of that.
So the important part I was going to ask you, I know we don't like conflict. There's times where if something like that happens for too long, you have this, I personally feel,
Like this
a
urge.
ball inside you that just builds up and builds up and builds up for you to go, I need to fucking say something.
Yeah, agreed.
Even though this has nothing to do with me, this
Agreed.
person needs to be humbled or shut up. This girl here, to even have the nerve to talk like that in public, in front of all these people, is wild to me.
Yeah, well, she's just causing a scene that doesn't need to be had.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell the other people on the bus as well. No, sorry, the train.
Yeah, the
train. Sorry. You can tell that they're on there as well, and like they're just like, oh, just shut up. Like seriously, like just shut up.
What's the point that it would take you to actually say something, like step in and say
Well, I
something?
feel like what the guy did was good. I probably would have jumped in around the same time.
Yeah.
He'd been like, are you fucking like bitch?
Yeah.
Like really, really.
Man,
Just grow up. You've got a free seat next to you. Just let the person sit down.
yeah.
Like it's not that hard.
But I wonder what just goes through. I personally have never met, let's say you got someone like that. I've never met someone whose parents aren't the same as them.
Yeah, true. Very true. You hear about it all the time too.
It's the same if you go to a station and there's ratty kids. You see their parents, they're not making sure there's a Sunday roast every week and making sure the washing's done and caring about their community. No, they're probably at the station just at night. They're the same thing. And I think that just goes to how important it is when you're raised that just do the right thing and stop fucking worrying about what other... people get too obsessed with the books too. Like the parenting books, the parenting videos.
Yeah.
There's so many out there.
Yeah.
There's different ways for everything.
I feel like that's the thing as well. Like if you're basing your parenting system around books, I wouldn't say that you're doing really... Like you're just doing like what they think.
Yeah.
And
Every kid's different.
Yeah, every kid's so different.
When we would work in a supermarket, I think we would have kids that would scream up and down the aisles, right? Run rampant. And to us, we would be like, right, if that was me as a kid, I'd get smacked on the bum and told to shut up.
Yep.
And when I get home, I do not get my toys, game,
no chocolate,
whatever.
no chocolate bar or whatever it is,
And you learn. You don't do it again.
Correct.
And I always thought, I guess in this environment, they let them do their own thing and wait for them to calm down.
And maybe they think that it's not like that. Yeah, that'll sort out the situation.
Maybe they'll realise it. Yeah, shock. It never works.
Not as a kid.
I would sit there and I'd be scanning groceries. And I would get so close sometimes to being like, can you tell your kid to calm down?
Yeah.
Or can you tell your kid to stop hitting that other person? Anything.
But the worst part is if you call that out, man, then you're the bad person too. Because how dare you make a comment about someone else's child? Like it's okay to have the thought, but if you speak it, different ballgame.
Is it bad that I think there should be, and I don't know what the tests are, there should actually be some tests before you have a child?
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm serious. I think some people aren't fit to have children. And I've seen it so many times, especially on the news, where people have kids just as a pay ticket.
Yeah.
An excuse to get out of work.
Yeah.
Some people, and then that kid is not getting the education, they're not getting grown up.
Not getting looked after like properly, like in a loving, devoting sort of family. Like
it's like having
not getting the time. Yeah, well,
if you're not ready to put in the time, look after them, make sure they're okay. Their safety is number one to you.
Yeah, knowing that it's going to be a lot of work.
But how fucking nuts is that? Right now, there could be someone that is super sensitive over me saying that. The fact that I'm like, hey, I think if you're an adult, there should be certain requirements where it's like this person will look after the child, they will feed it, they will care for it, they will love for it. Worst case scenario, they have people in place to look after the child. They will do everything they can to make sure that child is okay and has a great education or just a great life in general and is happy.
Yeah.
How do you argue that? I don't know. I feel
it's true, but no, you've probably already pissed some people off just quietly, but I definitely see where you're coming from and completely, there's some strong arguments that you got there for you.
I think so. I don't know.
Because, you got to look at it as well. Yes, I suppose you got to let your child, like, grow up and be their own person, which I completely understand as well, but, like, still monitor to a degree. Like, I'm not saying fucking, like, if there's a party and you're a bit sus, like, I'm not saying, like, wait outside the front of the party, like, in the bushes and all that. Like, you sort of have to not hope, but, like...
There's moments you need to let them go out on their own and experience failure for themselves.
Life and all that, and knowing, like, what's okay and what isn't okay. So even if, like, they're surrounded by drugs, like, okay, maybe they've dipped their toes in maybe trying a bit of weed or, I don't know, something like that, and maybe they saw then, like, their mate fully freak out, so now they're like... Actually, it's not for me. Sometimes that's how you learn, though.
Yeah, it is. That's like I heard there's a statistic in France where in France they let their kids drink very young. And I mean, because they love wine with dinner, things like that.
Correct.
So for them, alcohol's not like this,
crazy.
I've been waiting till I'm 16 to have an absolute fucking binger where I'm going to get my stomach pumped. No, they're used to it. It's like alcohol's alcohol.
Well, isn't that funny as well? Because here in Australia, it's like the legal age of drinking is 18, but then you got America where it's like 21. But then America's legal age of driving is like 16, whereas again for us, it's 18.
But isn't it funny that America have way wilder parties than us because of college and all that? Like their parties are fucking insane.
And I feel like maybe America's understanding of if we make the drinking age 21, you're more mature and stuff like that. But I feel like because you're making them wait even longer, you get that rowdier sort of pride to it.
They get their license at 16 too.
Yeah, because I feel like from our own personal experiences, drinking when we were underage, going to those 16s, 17s, sometimes 18s when we weren't 18, it was almost like a cooler rush, a cooler feel, because you're like, oh, this is a bit like risky. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. Whereas then when you're drinking at 18, it's like, well, fuck, everyone can do this now.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of, you know what, like, it's not as
You're spot on.
special.
Yeah, you're
I
spot on.
guess.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I've got a good topic for the next one.
Beautiful.
Got a good topic for the next one. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. It is Morokai with 2 eyes, and we'll see you next one.
Boom.
Boom.